Living alone as an older adult is a journey of independence, peace, and self-discovery. But it also brings a unique set of challenges that can sometimes be overwhelming. Many people share their thoughts on various platforms and forums about their experiences living alone in later years, and there's a wealth of wisdom that can help make the experience smoother and more enjoyable. In this video, I'll be sharing some of the most important things to avoid when living alone, especially as an older adult. This advice comes from personal experience and the collective knowledge of countless others who've walked this path. I hope it serves as a comforting guide, helping you avoid some common pitfalls and embrace the beauty of your own company with confidence and contentment. Number 1. Avoid complete isolation. One of the most frequently shared concerns about living alone as you age is the tendency to become too isolated. It's easy to fall into a routine where days turn into weeks without much interaction beyond the essentials. I've read so many stories from older adults who, without realizing it, found themselves disconnected from friends, family, and community. This is why it's important to make a conscious effort to stay connected. Join social groups, even virtual ones, or engage in community activities. It could be something as simple as a weekly phone call with a loved one, or attending local meetups. One woman shared how she started volunteering at a local shelter once a week, which not only gave her a sense of purpose, but also introduced her to new friends. The key here is not to wait until loneliness creeps in, but to proactively keep social connections alive. It doesn't have to be every day, but those small, regular moments of connection can make a world of difference. 2. Avoid neglecting your health. Another thing to avoid is the temptation to slack off on health routines. When you're living alone, there's no one to remind you to take your medications, go for your doctor's appointments, or even get outside for some fresh air and exercise. An older gentleman shared how easy it was for him to put off little things like doctor's appointments, thinking, "I'll get to it next week," until suddenly months had passed. He ended up developing more serious health problems because he ignored his routine care. His advice? Set reminders on your phone or write things down in a calendar so you don't forget. You can establish a routine for things like exercise, whether it's a daily walk or a gentle stretching routine in the mornings. Taking care of your mental health is also equally important. Avoid bottling up feelings of anxiety or sadness. Talk to someone, or even consider seeing a therapist if you feel it's necessary. Your emotional well-being deserves just as much attention as your physical health. 3. Avoid ignoring safety concerns. When you live alone, especially as you get older, safety becomes more critical. It's common for older people to brush aside concerns about home security, thinking, "I've been fine for years." But being proactive about safety can prevent accidents or emergencies down the road. A woman shared on a senior living forum about how she had a minor fall in her kitchen and couldn't reach her phone for hours. That experience taught her to invest in a personal emergency response system. These devices can give you peace of mind, knowing that help is just a button away. Similarly, make sure you have good lighting in all areas of your home, especially stairways, hallways, and bathrooms to prevent tripping hazards. Installing security cameras or having a trusted neighbor check in on you regularly can also help alleviate any concerns. The goal is to feel safe and secure in your own home without becoming overly anxious. 4. Avoid developing unhealthy habits. Living alone gives you a lot of freedom, but that freedom can sometimes lead to the development of unhealthy habits. It's easy to fall into patterns of overeating, under-exercising, or even drinking more alcohol than you should when there's no one else around to notice or give you a nudge. One woman once shared that after her spouse passed away, she found herself snacking endlessly in front of the TV, simply because there was no one there to eat meals with. It took her a while to realize that this habit was negatively impacting her health, both physically and mentally. To break the cycle, she started planning and preparing proper meals, which not only helped her eat better but also gave her days more structure. Consider setting small, realistic goals for yourself. Cook a healthy meal a few times a week, go for a short walk daily, or start a new hobby that gets you moving. The goal isn't perfection, but balance. Be mindful of how you're treating your body and take care of yourself like you would a dear friend. 5. Avoid letting your home become a burden. A big house can be a blessing when you have a family, but when living alone, it can start to feel overwhelming. Many older adults struggle with maintaining a large home by themselves, and it can become both physically and mentally exhausting. One person on a forum shared how, after her children moved out, she spent years trying to keep up with her house, feeling guilty about downsizing because of the memories attached to the place. Eventually, though, she realized that moving to a smaller, more manageable space not only gave her more freedom, but also allowed her to live more comfortably. You don't have to downsize if you're not ready, but do consider how much space you truly need and can manage. If staying in your current home is important to you, think about hiring help for tasks like lawn care, cleaning, or repairs. Your home should feel like a sanctuary, not a source of stress. 6. Avoid losing your sense of purpose. One of the hardest things about living alone is the potential loss of purpose, especially after retirement or the loss of a partner. Many people on forums talk about feeling like they're just passing time, unsure of how to fill their days. But your life still holds incredible value, and there's always something new to learn, do, or give. Consider pursuing a hobby you've always wanted to try, whether it's painting, gardening, or learning a new language. Volunteering, as I mentioned earlier, can also be a powerful way to regain a sense of purpose. One older man shared how he became a mentor to young people in his community, which gave him a deep sense of satisfaction and connection. The key is to keep exploring. Life is full of possibilities, and just because you're living alone doesn't mean you're living without purpose. 7. Avoid feeling like you have to do everything alone. One of the most common traps older adults fall into when living alone is feeling like they have to do it all themselves. It's okay to ask for help. In fact, it's important to do so. Whether it's asking a neighbor to help with grocery shopping, having family members visit more often, or hiring help for home maintenance, there's no shame in needing a hand. One woman shared how she was hesitant at first to rely on her adult children, but over time she realized that asking for help didn't make her any less independent. It allowed her to live more fully and stress-free. There's strength in community, even if it's just a small circle of people you trust. Don't be afraid to reach out when you need to. Living alone doesn't mean living without support. 8. Avoid neglecting your home environment. Living alone provides the freedom to create a space that's entirely your own, but it's easy to let things pile up or go unattended when no one else is around to notice. Over time, clutter can become not just a source of stress, but a safety hazard. A woman on a senior living forum shared that after her husband passed, she slowly stopped caring about the state of her home, letting things accumulate and leaving projects unfinished. It wasn't until a friend visited and helped her reorganize that she realized how much her environment had been affecting her mood. Take small, manageable steps to maintain your space. You don't have to deep clean or reorganize everything at once, but keeping your living space tidy and organized will help promote a more peaceful mindset. Plus, it's safer. Reduce clutter in hallways, keep surfaces clear, and make sure that essential items, like phones or glasses, are easily accessible. A clean and organized environment can make a huge difference in how you feel day to day. 9. Avoid losing track of time. When living alone, especially in retirement, days can blend into each other and it's easy to lose track of time. You might find yourself wondering, is it Monday or Thursday? This kind of time blurring can lead to feelings of disorientation or even depression. Many people on forums have shared tips about how they maintain structure in their lives. One man explained that after retiring, he found that setting daily and weekly routines was key to giving his days purpose. He schedules regular activities like grocery shopping on specific days or takes a morning walk at the same time every day. Creating a routine can help ground you. Even something as simple as having a designated time to wake up, eat meals, or pursue hobbies can help give your days more structure and meaning. Planning out your week in advance or writing it on a calendar can also help. This not only prevents aimlessness, but gives you something to look forward to each day. If you're enjoying the content, kindly consider hitting the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our future videos. Thank you, and let's move on. 10. Avoid holding on to things out of sentimentality. Sentimental items can bring comfort and nostalgia, but holding on to too many things for emotional reasons can also clutter your space and weigh you down. There's a fine balance between cherishing memories and allowing material possessions to overwhelm you. I saw a video where an older woman shared her journey of decluttering after her husband's death. At first, she couldn't part with any of his belongings, holding on to clothes, tools, and even old papers, because each item held sentimental value. But after years, she realized that all these objects were preventing her from moving forward. With the help of her children, she carefully went through each item, keeping a few that truly mattered and letting go of the rest. The process was emotional, but ultimately, it made her home feel lighter and more manageable. She said that it was as if she was making space for new memories rather than holding on to the past too tightly. It's okay to let go of things that no longer serve a purpose, even if they once held sentimental value. You can keep a few meaningful items, perhaps take photos of others, and pass on the rest. Decluttering in this way can be a freeing process, helping you feel more in control of your space and life. 11. Avoid skipping emergency preparedness. One of the biggest oversights when living alone, especially as an older adult, is failing to prepare adequately for emergencies. Whether it's a power outage, a medical emergency, or a natural disaster, being prepared is critical when you don't have someone else living with you to share the responsibility. One man shared a story about how a sudden snowstorm left him without power for days. Although he had enough food, he hadn't charged his phone or prepared any backup lighting. He ended up feeling vulnerable and isolated, not being able to reach anyone for help. After that experience, he invested in a portable phone charger, an emergency kit, and a few battery-operated lights. Take the time to make a plan for different types of emergencies. Ensure you have a list of emergency contacts readily accessible, as well as an emergency kit with essentials like non-perishable food, water, medications, and flashlights. It's also a good idea to keep your phone charged and have a backup battery or power bank. And if you live in an area prone to extreme weather, make sure you're stocked up on essentials and know the evacuation procedures or safe places in your community. 12. Avoid financial disorganization. Another thing to avoid is neglecting to stay on top of your finances. As you get older, it's easy to let paperwork pile up or to lose track of bills and bank accounts, especially when there are fewer people in your life keeping you accountable. Many people on online forums talk about the importance of keeping financial records in order to avoid stress or financial insecurity down the line. One woman shared her story of how she lost track of several automatic subscriptions and utility payments after her husband passed away, simply because he had always handled the finances. It wasn't until she checked her bank statements months later that she realized she was paying for services she no longer used. She felt overwhelmed, but after enlisting the help of a trusted family member, she was able to regain control of her financial situation. Consider creating a simple system for managing your finances. Set up automatic payments for essential bills and review your bank statements monthly to ensure everything is in order. Keep important financial documents organized in one place and don't hesitate to ask for help if you need it, whether that's from a family member, a trusted friend, or a financial advisor. Staying on top of your finances can relieve. Living alone as an older person can be a beautiful experience, full of freedom and self-discovery. But it's important to navigate it wisely, with a mindful approach to your health, safety, and well-being. By avoiding isolation, taking care of your health, addressing safety concerns, and seeking help when needed, you can truly enjoy this chapter of your life. Remember, you are never alone in this experience. There are countless others walking this path, and we all share in the ups and downs of living alone. So embrace your independence, stay connected, and live with purpose. This is your time to thrive. Feel free to share your own thoughts and experiences in the comments below. And if you found the video helpful, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to not miss any of our future videos. Thank you for watching.